Hello, ladies and gents. I hope you're doing well today. I hope your families are doing well. Today, I want to talk to you about the freight broker business. And I think it's really important that when we think about starting a freight broker business, we look at it from a realistic standpoint. What is it that I want to achieve? And what is it that I'm going to have to sacrifice to achieve what I want to achieve? How do I get from point A to point B? I think people come into this business and they have two different mindsets, and both of these mindsets lead to failure. I'm going to talk about a different way of looking at things as we progress through the video that I believe will set you up for the most success. But let's start off with these two mindsets that ultimately lead to failure. Number one, first of all, people come into this business sometimes and they have confidence in themselves. They say, hey man, I know I can do it. I'm going to go out and start a successful business. I'm going to be able to get customers and I'm going to make a lot of money, right? And I think it's good to come in with the idea that you can do something, because I believe in the idea that if you think you can, you absolutely can. If you think you can't, you certainly won't, right? So I think it's good to come in with a positive mindset, but don't come in and fool yourself into thinking that it's going to be easy. And I think sometimes people are so positive that they make themselves think that it's going to be something that it's not. There's not a business that I've ever started that was easy, and I've started several businesses. There is no business that you're going to start usually that's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to get customers. It's not going to be easy to make money. It's not going to be easy to figure out how things work. You're going to be challenged all along the way. And when you set yourself up for this type of thinking that it's going to be easy, you're going to get frustrated when challenges start to you start to meet those challenges, right? So we don't want to set ourselves up for failure by not understanding that when challenge comes, like it absolutely will, we have to face that challenge. We have to deal with what's on the other side of that challenge. And when you come in with this super positive mindset and you're not willing to look at things realistically, and those challenges start to hit you one after another, after another, after another, then usually we get exasperated. We get this idea in our minds that, oh man, it's not going to work. This is not going to work as fast as I thought it was. I'm not going to be able to be successful. I'm not going to be able to go out and do the things that I wanted to do. You start to doubt yourself. And then before too long, you end up quitting, because you've built up in your mind that it's going to happen quickly. And when it doesn't, bam, you say, oh man, it's not going to happen. I'm going to move on to something else. But you have to give it a chance. And giving it a chance is having the patience to endure, go through the hard and the tough times so you can get to the good times. Now, on the other side of that, the other way that I see people come into this business, and it ultimately leads to failure as well, is they come into this business and they say, you know what? It's going to be hard. It is going to be super difficult. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get customers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make money. And when you come into it in that mindset, then you won't be successful. When you start thinking in your mind and you start doubting yourself, you probably won't be successful in it, because doubt pours over into your sales process. When you start reaching out to customers, or before you even reach out to customers, you've built this idea in your mind that they are not going to accept your offer. You've built this idea in your mind that you don't have the real confidence that you need to talk to those customers. So it's going to come across in your conversations that you're having with those customers, and it's not going to go well. So having that type of mindset, the negative mindset, won't bode well for you either. I've seen a lot of people come into this business and they defeat themselves before they even get started. They come into the business and they say, how am I going to get this done? How am I going to get that done? How am I going to be able to get people to work with me? Right? And before you know it, they look up and they realize, man, when these challenges start to come at them, they say, oh man, that's not something that I want to deal with. I didn't expect it to be as tough as this. I knew it was going to be tough, but I didn't think it was going to be this tough. And then you start saying in your mind, this doesn't work, right? And once you get that in your mind, once you start to doubt yourself and say that it's not going to work, it's not going to work. If you think you can, you absolutely can. If you think you cannot, You are absolutely right with that thinking as well. So don't build yourself up into the thinking that this is going to be easy, but don't also build yourself up into thinking that it's just going to be something that's super difficult. I personally think that it's about approaching this business in a realistic way, right? Coming into the business and understanding that you're starting a business, right? And it's kind of like going to the NFL or going to the NBA. Not everybody is going to go and be successful as an athlete. Not everybody is going to be successful as a business owner. And I think a lot of people talk about business and with this, this mindset that anybody can do it. Yeah, anybody can do it. But here's the truth. Most people won't do it. Most people will not build a successful business. So right away, we know that we have to do something to separate ourselves from most people. And I think what is the thing that separates a successful business owner from a business owner that's not successful is his mindset, the way that he approaches business, the way that he handles himself when adversity strikes, right? And how you can handle yourself, I believe, really well during adverse situations is you already understand that it's coming, right? You already understand that there are going to be some tough parts to this, right? Not something that's insurmountable, not something that I can't do, but just something that I'm going to have to put a lot of effort toward so that I can overcome it, right? I'm going to have to go within myself and get the best out of me in order to overcome these hard trials and tribulations that I'm going to have to overcome. And yes, you want to automatically know in your mind that it's going to be some things out there that are going to challenge you, right? And the only question is how will you face those challenges? Will you face those challenges head on? Will you face those challenges and deal with them for what they are? Not making them more than they are, not making it any less than they are, but exactly what it is. Now, let me give you an example of what it is that I'm talking about when I'm saying being able to have success in a business by dealing with things for how they are, right? Yes, if you've never been in sales before, if you've never approached customers before, that's going to be a bit intimidating usually for most of us when we first get started. So understand that and prepare yourself for that. You see, there's a saying that says proper planning prevents poor performance. And I think that's the most of why people fail in this business, because they don't properly plan for what's to come. You're not looking at this, I don't think, how it should be looked at, in the sense that says, hey, how can I plan? How can I get a plan together for what's going to happen, right? Without really knowing exactly what's going to happen, how do I plan for that? Well, one way I look at that and I say, okay, how do I plan for the things that are to come? Well, I know in my mind that sales is going to be the first problem that I have in a business, right? So I have to get myself in the mindset to say, okay, well, what is required in order for me to sell my service to a shipper? What are the requirements that I have to meet? And I know right away in my mind that I have to overcome whatever fear that I have inside of me when it comes to selling, right? Some people know already in their mind that they're fearful of selling. Some people say to themselves, I don't want to sell. If you don't want to sell as a freight broker, then you have to do one or two things. Quit and not even worry about this as being a job that you're going to take on, or embrace it. Embrace the fact that, I'm not really good at sales. And when you accept that and understand, hey, I'm not good at it, then you have to look at it and say, how can I get good at it? How can I get better at selling? And why do I say that? Why do I say either embrace sales or give up on your idea of being a successful freight broker? Because in freight brokering, sales is a requirement. It is absolutely necessary that you become better and better and better at selling yourself and selling your service. You don't want to lie to anybody, but certainly don't lie to yourself. Be realistic. Know what it is that you're getting into. It's not an insurmountable hill that you're getting ready to climb, but but it's certainly something that you have to dig within yourself and get the best out of you to overcome, to be the best that you can be. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you want to learn more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a link in the description. It's the 5-video series, and it's titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It'll show you all about the freight broker business, give you a chance to come into the office with me and watch over my shoulder as I move loads, talk to shippers and carriers, so you can get a better understanding of how this business works. And then for those of you who are interested in continuing to learn about the freight broker business, this Tuesday night, we're going to have Tom Croto of Opera 5 Freight Factoring Company. He's going to come on and share with us some great information about the factoring company and also about building credit as freight brokers. So I'm going to leave a link in the description where you can sign up for our coming Tuesday night Super Tuesday business meeting. You'll see that in the description box, and make sure that you click that link and register for the Super Tuesday business meeting to reserve your seat right now. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you all the way at the top of the mountain, because the bottom is much too crowded.